Hi, I'm Dan York. We're coming at you from the 90th meeting of the Internet Engineering Task Force, or IETF, here in Toronto, Canada this week. And I'm here with Jari Arkko, who's the chair of the IETF. So, hi, Jari.
Hi, Dan.
It's been a very busy week this week. So what were some of the highlights for you?
It has been a very busy week. We had over 1,200 participants from 54 countries, a very exciting meeting. My highlights for the meeting were our continuous work on improving the security and privacy of the Internet, looking at the planning for the IANA transition that we're intending to do next year, as well as our work on the Internet of Things.
Yeah, and the Internet of Things was a topic that was quite popular this week with lots of activity happening. What were some of the new activities and some of the things that were going on?
It is indeed popular, and it seems like every meeting we add new things that we work on. And this week, the first thing that we added was a low power and lossy networking plugfest, which is basically a meeting where the participants can test their implementations against each other and make sure that they actually work together.
And that was really, so they could see how did these things work over the IETF standards.
They were actually testing the running code.
And that was before the meeting, right?
That was before the meeting, so there's a lot of these activities that happen in and around the IETF. It's mostly about specifications, but we also have a lot of testing going around, individuals making sure that they have products and open source systems that actually work.
Now, in terms of specifications, there was a new working group that was created too, right?
That's right. The ACE working group is focusing on security of the Internet of Things, and making sure that you can build security connections between the different kinds of devices and authorize the activities that the devices do.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't want your refrigerator to receive the word to warm up or something like that.
That's right. Or at least not from anybody.
Well, yeah, that's right, exactly. So there was also, we've had this Bits and Bytes. It's been a Thursday evening reception and kind of showcase to a certain degree, and that was a little different this year. What happened?
That's right. So this time we actually focused on a topic which was the Internet of Things. So we brought in 10 different organizations who demonstrated different types of prototypes and products around the Internet of Things, and I thought that was very, very exciting, and it seemed like the IETF audience was very excited as well, and going around and seeing all the demonstrations.
Yeah, it was neat. I was traveling around looking at some of the ones. Some of them were obviously, software systems you could use. Some of them were cloud-based things. Some of them were actual devices, and I don't even know what they all were, but things you could plug together and do something with.
That's right.
So it was neat. Now, obviously, security and privacy is another topic. I mean, just in general, beyond Internet of Things, and we've been talking about that for several IETFs. What happened this week?
Right, just to go back a little bit first, the IETF has discussed this topic, and earlier this year we decided that we really have to address some of these issues around pervasive monitoring or massive surveillance activities that we as developers of the technology have to do as much as we can to make sure that we have tools in our technology to deal with those aspects of surveillance that the technology can be an answer to. And so after making that decision, we've been on the task of trying to do those updates to our protocols and build those new tools that we would actually need. Some of those things include, for instance, the HTTPS and HTTP protocols that we've been updating at the IETF. And it's actually an interesting task. Obviously, the security of the Internet is not a trivial thing to improve, so it will take a little bit of time, and there are challenges. And some of the challenges we were discussing this week, as an example, there's some caching systems and other parts of the network that interact with traffic going through the network, and making sure that those things can still work while we add security is challenging, and there certainly is more work left there to do. But at least we made a clear decision this week that the HTTPS protocol, the secure version of the web protocols, that is meant for end-to-end usage, and we will not compromise on that. So
yeah, there is that balancing act between how do you secure it while still enabling it to work as fast and easy, and all those different pieces and part of it. Now, there was a new working group that formed too, right? It was
That's right. TCP Inc. working group is working on a proposal to opportunistically encrypt connections without any involvement of the applications, and that is primarily targeted towards situations where you don't have something like HTTPS running on your browser, for instance.
So if you're connecting over another protocol in some way, this will just create the secure tunnels in some way.
That's right. And it's not a perfect answer to all problems, but it's better than nothing. It provides security against eavesdroppers on the path, at least in those cases where the eavesdroppers are not capable of active attacks.
Now, another topic that came up a good bit was this whole topic of the so-called IANA transition. This movement of the Internet Assigned Names and Numbers Authority, or the oversight of that, the change in that. So what happened here?
Yeah, it's indeed a question about the oversight. And I think we at the IETF have welcomed that transition, and we've been working hard towards making that happen. From our perspective, the work is actually just a small piece of the overall evolution that has happened over the years. So over the last 10 years or so, we've made several improvements, and we created contracts, we created oversight groups, we specified the role of various entities, and we actually believe that we are fairly far along in this, and we have the tools necessary to have that oversight, and that the US government can rely on us to do this task in the future, as we actually have been doing for several years already.
So it's really a matter of more documenting what we do and how it relates to the requirements that the NTIA has put down for this transition.
That's right, and a big part of the meeting that we had this week was confirming that we indeed, in the IETF community, we believe in this, that the tools that we have, the mechanisms that we have, are the right ones and are sufficient. So we're primarily focused on documenting how our current systems actually respond to the needs.
Okay, well that's great. Well, this IETF90 is done. They're cleaning up the rooms, and they're
going to throw us out soon.
Throw us out soon. We're ready to go get on planes. And so what's next? We've got IETF91 coming up in November. What's going to happen between now and then?
Right. So obviously we're going to continue our hard work on the major projects, like improving the protocol stack for the web or the Internet of Things. But we also have some pretty major deadlines or milestones coming up. One of them is the publication of the new version of the HTTP protocol, the 2.0 version, which we plan to do later this year. And the other one is concluding our planning for the IANA transition. So we're hoping to get those things done actually well before the next meeting, or at least slightly after this year.
Great. Well, thank you for your time and for all you've done for the IETF. You who are watching can learn more about the IETF and read Jari's blog at www.ietf.org or www.ietf.org/blog, and follow the IETF on social media as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you, Dan.